The floor is yours, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, and good morning, everybody. I'm Yasha Franklin Hodge, Chair of the Public Improvement Commission, and I call to order the PIC hearing of June 26, 2025. Mr. Liming, would you please take the roll call?
Certainly. Would the representative from the Public Works Department please state their name for the record?
Yasha Franklin Hodge.
Property Management Department, please do the same.
Joseph Callahan.
Inspectional Services. Brian, if you're on, you're muted. We'll go to the Water and Sewer Commission next.
Denise Devlin.
Thank you. Commission for Persons with Disabilities.
Sarah Young.
Okay, and ISD, Brian Ronan, are you on? You may be having some issues. We do have a quorum with or without Brian, so I think we can go ahead and get started. Brian, if you do get your audio figured out, please just go ahead and jump in and introduce yourself.
All right, thank you very much. We'll kick it off with our first item, hearing minutes on the request of the Public Improvement Commission staff, the acceptance of the minutes of the PIC hearing held on June 12, 2025. Do I hear a motion to approve the minutes?
I move to approve the minutes of the Public Improvement Commission hearing held on June 12th, 2025.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed or abstain? So moved. On to our next item, utility pole hearing continued. Number one, on a petition by Verizon New England Incorporated for utility pole installation to install one new private utility pole within Nazing Street, Roxbury, to be located on its southwesterly side at address numbers 36 to 38, generally between Blue Hill Avenue and Maple Street. This had its first hearing on June 12th. 2025. Would the proponents please introduce themselves, their affiliations, and let us know how you would like to proceed?
Yes, good morning, Commissioners. Ross Bilodeau, representing Verizon New England. We're going to ask for another continuation for this one. Our engineer has a site meeting next week and hasn't been able to coordinate that until that time. So we'll ask for another continuation for 2 weeks.
Not a problem. Do I hear a motion to continue utility pole hearing number one to July 10th?
Sorry, it's actually 3 weeks because of the holiday, so we're looking at July 17th is the next hearing.
I move to continue a petition by Verizon New England for utility pole installation to continue this matter until the next PIC hearing on July 17th, 2025.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed or abstain? So moved. We'll see you back here then, Ross. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you.
All right, on to our next agenda item, public hearing number one on a petition by NStar Electric Company, DBA Eversource Energy, for a granted location to install an electric transformer vault and associated infrastructure within Washington Street Public Way, Boston proper, located generally at address numbers 1387 and 1403, southwest of Union Park Street. This was new business on June 12th, as shown on a plan entitled City of Boston Public Works Department Engineering Division Granted Location Plan, Plan of Transformer MH for PIC, Washington Street, Boston, one sheet dated December 2024. Would the proponents please introduce themselves, their affiliations, and let us know and give us a very brief update on anything that has changed since your new business hearing.
Hi, good morning. It's Katie Flaherty, representing Eversource Electric. I was just going to share the screen and show you the plan. Can you see the plan?
No, we see a browser window that says Zoom on it.
Katie, while you're pulling that up, I believe Brian Ronan has logged back in. Brian, are you with us?
No.
muted if you're in, Brian.
I'm having trouble sharing.
How
the
about now,
screen.
Todd?
Oh, there we go. Thank you, Brian. Yes.
All right, very good, thank you.
Great. Yeah, Brian's with us. Thank you. Sorry, Katie.
I'm having trouble sharing the screen. I'm trying to pull up the plan to be able to just show the plan of what the conduit and the manhole that we'd like to install.
I can pull it up, Katie.
Thank you, Todd. No, he's pulling it up. Todd's pulling it up. So this is the existing manhole, 1345, which is at the intersection of Washington Street and Union Park. We'd like to install conduit from that manhole over to this new manhole, which is going to have the customer transformer going into it. And this is to supply electric service to 1395 Washington Street.
All right, and have there been any changes since your new business hearing?
No, they haven't.
All right. Commissioners, questions? CIC staff or members of the public?
I will remind the public, if you wish to ask questions or add testimony at any time, please use the raised hand function, which can be found in the reactions tab at the bottom of your screen. I do not see any right now, and we are all set with this plan.
All right. With that, do I hear a motion to approve public hearing number 1?
I move to approve a petition by Instar Electric Company for a grant of location on Washington Street as further read into the record by the chair.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed or abstain? So moved. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
On to public hearing number 2 on a petition by the City of Boston Public Facilities Department for the widening and relocation of the existing right-of-way lines of Geneva Avenue, Public Way, Dorchester, as well as for the acceptance of a highway easement located on its northeasterly side at address numbers 40 to 54, southeast of Normandy Street. This was new business on June 12th, shown on a plan entitled City of Boston Public Works Department Engineering Division Widening and Relocation Plan, 4254 Geneva Avenue, Grove Hall Community Center, Geneva Avenue, Normandy Street, Oldfields Road, Dorchester, one sheet, dated June 24th, 2025. The petitioners please introduce themselves, their affiliations, give us a brief reintroduction to this project, and an update on anything related to this action that has changed since your new business hearing.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Brett Benson. I'm a principal at UTEAL. We're the architects for the project. I'm joined by our landscape architect and our civil engineer, as well as Robertson Castor from the Public Facilities Department, who is the project manager for the project. Just as a very brief reminder, this is a new ground-up community center for the Boston Center for Youth and Families, first ground-up community center built in Boston in decades, located here in Grove Hall. And with that, I'll hand it over to Jeffrey Pilat from Samiotis to review the specific items.
Good morning to the Commission and to the public. My name is Jeffrey Pilat, Samiotis Consultants. We're the project surveyors and civil engineers. We've been requested to break up the widening and relocation easements to each respective street. And so you can see on this plan that we have one broken out for Geneva, Normandy, and Oldfield Road.
Thank you very much. Any changes since your new business hearing on this, other than the division of the into 3 separate parts?
No, nothing else for the widening and relocation. There are changes for specific repair.
All right, excellent. Commissioners, questions, comments? CIC staff or members of the public?
All set on this.
All right, do I hear a motion to approve public hearing number 2?
I move to approve a petition by the City of Boston Public Facilities Department for the widening and relocation of Geneva Avenue as further read into the record by the chair.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed or abstain? So moved. On to public hearing number 3 on a petition by the City of Boston Public Facilities Department for the widening and relocation of the existing right-of-way lines of Normandy Street, Public Way, Dorchester, as well as for the acceptance of a highway easement located on the southeasterly side between Geneva Avenue and Old Fields Road. So as new business on June 12th, as shown on a plan entitled City of Boston Public Works Department Engineering Division Widening and Relocation Plan, 40 to 54 Geneva Avenue, Grove Hall Community Center, Geneva Avenue, Normandy Street, Old Fields Road, Dorchester, one sheet dated June 24th, 2025. The proponents please reintroduce themselves and their affiliations and let us know if there are any changes to this particular street on the widening and relocation plan since your new business hearing. And if we could pull up the widening and relocation plan and just leave it up for this and the next action, that'd be great.
Brett Benson from UTIL.
Donna Gillis-Smith from Ground Landscape Architecture.
Jeffrey Pilat, Samios Consultants. We have no changes on this sheet for this specific repair. Moving on to Old Field Road, there was a question regarding the curb cut access.
Just to stop you quickly, we're still doing the widening and relocation. We're treating these as 3 separate actions. So
Understood.
If you can
Gotcha.
just leave that plan up for the purposes of the 3 actions, and then we'll switch over to specific repairs.
Understood. There's no other changes.
Awesome. Do you mind pulling the plan back up just so that it's in the recording? Somebody able to?
Hey, do you see it? The winding
No,
and relocation
we're not
plan?
seeing the screen share.
Oh,
At least-
I'm sorry.
Oh wait, maybe. I'm sorry. I think I may.
Disconnected.
Oh no. I think it might have just been something odd with my Zoom because I am actually seeing it now. Todd, we're good on the plan, correct?
Yes, yeah, we can see the plan.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Apologies, that was just me and clicking a Zoom tab. All right, commissioners, questions, comments? Hearing none, TIC staff or members of the public?
All set?
All right, do I hear a motion to approve public hearing number 3?
I move to approve a petition by the City of Boston Public Facilities Department for the widening and relocation of Normandy Street as further read into the record by the chair.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed or abstain? So moved. On to public hearing number 4 on a petition by the City of Boston Public Facilities Department for the widening and relocation of the existing right-of-way lines of Old Fields Road, Public Way, Dorchester, as well as for the acceptance of a highway easement located on its southwesterly side, southeast of Normandy Street. This was new business on June 12th, as shown on a plan entitled City of Boston Public Works Department Engineering Division Widening and Relocation Plan, 40 to 54 Geneva Avenue, Grove Hall Community Center, Geneva Avenue, Normandy Street, Old Fields Road, Dorchester, one sheet dated June 24th, 2025. The proponents please reintroduce themselves, their affiliations, and confirm if there have been any changes to this widening and relocation action since your new business hearing.
Brett Benson from UTIL.
Donna Gillis-Smith Ground.
Jeffrey Pilat, Samios Consultants. There has been no changes to Old Fields winding and relocation other than the breakup.
Excellent. Commissioners, questions? TIC staff or members of the public?
All set?
We hear a motion to approve public hearing number 4.
I move to approve a petition by the City of Boston Public Facilities Department for the widening and relocation of Old Fields Road as further read into the record by the chair.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed or abstain? So moved. On to public hearing number 5 on a petition by the City of Boston Public Facilities Department for the making of specific repairs within the following public ways in Dorchester, consisting of curb realignment, sidewalk reconstruction with structural soil, as well as new and relocated pedestrian ramps, specialty pavement, street lighting infrastructure, storm drain infrastructure, green stormwater infrastructure, street trees, irrigation infrastructure, bike racks, flashing warning beacons, driveway curb cuts, and a raised crosswalk. Geneva Avenue at address numbers 40 to 54, generally southeast of Normandy Street between Geneva Avenue and Oldfields Road, Oldfields Road southeast of Normandy Street. This was new business on June 12th, as shown on a set of plans entitled City of Boston Public Works Department Engineering Division, Specific Repairs Plan 40 to 54, Geneva Avenue, Grove Hall Community Center, Geneva Avenue, Normandy Street, Oldfields Road, Dorchester, 5 sheets dated May 22nd, 2025. The proponents please reintroduce themselves, their affiliations, and give us an update on any changes on any of these specific repairs since your new business hearing.
Brett Benson with UTIL.
Shauna Gillis-Smith Ground.
Jeffrey Pila, Samuels Consultants. There are no changes from the civil's perspective on the specific repairs on Geneva Avenue. I know there was a question from the Office of Disabilities regarding the curb cut. The width of it, we are proposing the full width of 20 feet in order to make the movements for the larger vehicles that are proposed to park here for the staff and personnel of the building. There is a shallow approach to this curb cut due to parking across the street and within the street of Oldsfield. And we would like to keep that full width if possible.
Thank you very much. Commissioners, questions, comments?
Appreciate the team looking into the dimension of the driveway curb cut. I think we're all set.
Thank you, Sarah. Shauna, is there anything you would like to review in terms of the plantings?
Yeah, there have been some changes to the street trees in response to comments from Dan Jackman, the city arborist. We've replaced the street trees along Oldsfield with underwire trees. Sorry, I just wanted with the underwire trees, Amelanchier laevis cumulus, and also replaced trees, the species of the trees along Geneva Avenue with a narrower form of honey locust, Gladisia Draves streetkeeper. And no other changes.
All right. Can we just get a quick update on what the long-term maintenance expectations are and what, if and what is covered through or intended to be covered through an LMI related to these repairs?
Good morning, this is Robertson Castor with PFD. Public Facilities is in conversations with BCYF and PR Program Management to identify a couple of groups that would assist in maintaining the trees in the right-of-way. We haven't fully discussed scope, but anything that's required from the vote would be included in that for sure.
Thank you, Robertson. And as it relates to the other repairs, things like permeable pavers, that sort of work, has there been clarity about who will have that responsibility?
It hasn't been specified yet, but BCYF understands that right now they'd be the primary person responsible, and we would work with property management on a plan for maintaining the permeable pavers. As part of the project, we'll provide adequate stock of the existing permeable pavers so that there is some kind of assortment there for emergency repair.
Okay, excellent. So just, can I get a clear commitment then that there will be an LMI executed as these conversations progress?
That is correct. There definitely will be an LMI created.
All right, excellent. I have no other questions. Hearing none other from the commissioners, KC staff, or members of the public?
I'm all set with this.
All right. Do I hear a motion to approve public hearing number 5?
I move to approve a petition by the City of Boston Public Facilities Department for the making of specific repairs within Geneva Avenue, Normandy Street, and Oldfields Road, subject to the execution of an LMI.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed or abstain? So moved. Thank you very much.
Thank you to the commission.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to public hearing number 6 on a petition by Community Music Center of Boston for the making of specific repairs within Washington Street Public Way, Roxbury, located on its southeasterly side at address numbers 2164 to 2168, generally between Ruggles Street and Dade Street, consisting of curb and sidewalk reconstruction with structural soil, as well as new and relocated specialty pavement, street lighting infrastructure, street trees, and groundwater recharge infrastructure. This was new business on June 12th, as shown on a plan entitled City of Boston Public Works Department Engineering Division Specific Repair Plan, 2164 to 2168 Washington Street, Roxbury neighborhood, one sheet dated March 25th, 2025. Would the proponents please introduce themselves, their affiliations, and give us a very brief reintroduction to the work and any changes since your new business hearing.
Good morning. My name is John Hart with SMMA. I'm a civil engineer representing the Community Music Building, Boston, and I can share the plan, but there have been no updates since the last hearing.
All right, it'd be great if we could get the plan up.
Do you see that?
No, I don't think so.
John, I can pull it up if you need me to, just let me know.
You seeing something now?
Yes, we're seeing a slideshow.
So this is just a locust plan showing 2164 Washington Street in Roxbury, and this is our plan. Essentially, there's about 42 feet of frontage on Washington Street. There's an existing mix of some concrete and mostly brick on the sidewalk now. We are proposing the 6.5 foot concrete sidewalk with a 3 foot permeable paver zone out front along the curb. This is a detail that's similar to one new development across the street, and also similar to the developments that are proposing on either side of this property. It's an old historic building and a total renovation of the building, and we'll have new connections to domestic water, fire protection, sewer, and drainage that all go out to the street and take up much of the 42 feet. And so we had a tree hearing 3 weeks ago, and we've been notified by email that the removal of that one tree is accepted. We're awaiting the final document. So that's what we've shown on the plan, is a removal of that tree and the new tree located in the same location. There is an injection well for recharge, since this is a zero lot line building, and that's right here in the sidewalk. Oops. Can zoom in a little. So there is this injection well there. There are some handholds and an electrical cabinet in the frontage as well that we're working around. We have been approved by Boston Water and Sewer. And I think that's about it.
All right. Thank you very much. Commissioners, questions, comments? Hearing none, PIC staff or members of the public?
We had previously issued to the project team a request to just add a couple labels for some of the handholds and control boxes shown on these plans, as well as to show the underground connections for the injection well. So we'll expect those updates to be made prior to issuing final Mylars.
Acknowledged, yep.
Thanks, John.
All right. Well, hearing no other comments, do I hear a motion to approve public hearing number 6?
I move to approve a petition by Community Music Center of Boston for the making of specific repairs within Washington Street, as further read into the record by the chair.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed or abstain? So moved. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
On to our next item, public hearing number 7 on a petition by Harvard Standish LLC for the acceptance of a pedestrian easement adjacent to the following public ways in Dorchester: Harvard Street on its southerly side at address numbers 114 to 122, east of Standish Street, Standish Street on its easterly side south of Harvard Street. This was new business on June 12th. As shown on a plan entitled City of Boston Public Works Department Engineering Division Pedestrian Easement Plan 114 to 122 Harvard Street at Standish Street, Dorchester, one sheet dated May 8th, 2025. Would the proponents please introduce themselves, their affiliations, give us a very brief introduction to the project and any updates to the pedestrian easement plan since your new business hearing.
Sure. Good morning, Joseph Oliveira, Sherwood Consulting. We're the civil engineer for these projects. It's the next 2 buildings on the agenda, 114 Harvard and the other one, and they together have 22 new affordable housing units. There's no change to this plan since the new business. The only change was to the building, but it doesn't affect the easement. And there was a staircase going out to Standish that interrupted the pedestrian easement, and that has since been changed. You can see it here, so that the staircase was cut back. So now the entire stairs and the rail extensions do not go into the pedestrian easement. But the plan itself has not changed since the new business.
All right, commissioners, questions, comments? PIC staff or members of the public?
All set on this easement.
Great. Do I hear a motion to approve public hearing number 7?
I move to approve a petition by Harvard Standish LLC for the acceptance of a pedestrian easement within Harvard and Standish Streets, as further read into the record by the chair.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed or abstain? So moved. On to public hearing number 8 on a petition by Harvard Standish LLC for the making of specific repairs within the following public ways in Dorchester, consisting of sidewalk reconstruction as well as new and relocated pedestrian ramp, street lighting infrastructure, street trees, and driveway curb cuts. Harvard Street at address numbers 114 to 122, generally east of Standish Street south of Harvard Street, new business on June 12th. As shown on a set of plans entitled City of Boston Public Works Department Engineering Division Specific Repairs Plan, 114 to 122 Harvard Street at Standish Street, Dorchester, 3 sheets dated June 25th, 2025. The proponents please reintroduce themselves, their affiliations, and give us an update on any changes to these specific repairs since your new business here.
Joseph Oliveira, Sherwood Consulting. We're the civil engineer. The changes to this specific repairs since the new business are that we are now realigning the crosswalk that goes across Harvard Street. That was based on Disabilities Commission comment, as well as the one crossing Standish. We're restriping that and slightly realigning it. And then based on comments from ADA manager, we will be reconstructing a portion of the sidewalk on the other side of the street and these reciprocal pedestrian ramps. So a total of 3 additional reciprocal pedestrian ramps that are going to be reconstructed. There were issues with the gutters and gutter slopes at the crosswalks. So we will be milling and overlaying those crosswalks and then restriping it and making those all conform. Those were the changes.
Thank you for incorporating our changes and comments.
Sure.
I'd like to also echo that appreciation for aligning that crosswalk and for incorporating their feedback. Thank you. Chief, I think you may be on mute.
I'm sorry?
Chief, you may be on mute.
Thank you very much. PIC staff or members of the public?
We're all set.
All right. Do I hear a motion to approve public hearing number 8?
I move to approve a petition by Harvard Standish LLC for the making of specific repairs within Harvard and Standish streets as further read into the record by the chair.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed or abstain? So moved. On to public hearing number 9 on a petition by Harvard Standish LLC for the acceptance of a pedestrian easement adjacent to Standish Street, Public Way, Dorchester, located on its easterly side at address numbers 18 to 24, generally north of Kingsdale Street, new business on June 12th, as shown on a plan entitled City of Boston Public Works Department Engineering Division Pedestrian Easement Plan, 18224 Standish Street, Dorchester, one sheet dated May 7th, 2025. The proponents please reintroduce themselves, their affiliations, and give us an update on this pedestrian easement plan and any changes since your new business hearing.
Sure. Joseph Oliveira, Sherwood Consulting, we're the civil engineer. And this is the sister project of the one we just spoke about at 114 Harvard. They're being constructed together. The easement has not changed, 1.5 foot easement along Standish Street, no change to this plan.
All right. Commissioners, questions? PIC staff or members of the public?
All set.
Do I hear a motion to approve public hearing number 9?
I move to approve a petition by Harvard Standish LLC for the acceptance of a pedestrian easement adjacent to Standish Street as further read into the record by the chair.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed or abstain? So moved. On to our final public hearing number 10, on a petition by Harvard Standish LLC for the making of specific repairs within Standish Street, Public Way, Dorchester, located on its easterly side at address numbers 18 to 24, generally north of Kingsdale Street, consisting of sidewalk reconstruction as well as new and relocated street lighting infrastructure and street trees. New business on June 12th, as shown on a set of plans entitled City of Boston Public Works Department Engineering Division Specific Repairs Plan, 18224 Standish Street, Dorchester, 2 sheets dated June 25th, 2025. The proponents please reintroduce themselves, their affiliations, and give us an update on any changes to these specific repairs since your new business hearing.
Joseph Oliveira, Sherwood Consulting, we're the civil engineers. There's no change to anything in the public way. The only change on this plan was in response to a Disabilities Commission comment, and we added a ramp that now connects the building to the front sidewalk, but no change within the public way.
All right. Commissioners, questions, comments?
Dan, I appreciate the team incorporating our feedback.
PIC staff, members of the public?
All set.
Do I hear a motion to approve public hearing number 10?
I move to approve a petition by Harvard Standish LLC for the making of specific repairs within Standish Street as further read into the record by the chair.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed or abstain? So moved. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. And that concludes the public hearing section of our agenda. So we will move on to new business, starting with new business 1, 30 Samuel Morse Way, Decatur Street, Charlestown, earth retention license, on a joint petition by Bunker Hill Land Co. LLC and the Boston Housing Authority. Would the proponents please introduce themselves, their affiliations, and give us an introduction to the work you are proposing to do?
Good morning. My name is Nick Niagara with William McCall Properties. I'm representing the project over in Charlestown. We are here today to discuss to support of excavation for our second building, Building F, which will be the new building coming. Thank you, John, for putting that up. After our first affordable building was just completed up the street on Corey Street. So what we are looking for today is some relief to put our supportive excavation in a widening of the right-of-way, and I'll turn it over to John to describe that in a little bit more detail.
Good morning, John Schmidt with Mitch Engineering. So we're proposing the supportive excavation within Senator Morris Way, as well as in Decatur Street. Within Senator Morris Way, which will, right now it's a private way, but we will be becoming public way in the future. The sheet piling is proposed along this area here, and on Decatur is proposed here, just within the right-of-way line. The work that you see over here is just the grading exercise. We don't need to put anything into the ground to build a foundation, but we are sloping it back, as you can see on this sheet here. So this is where we're providing a temporary grading it back to construct it, and then when it's done, it will be brought back to its current condition. And when the roadway is constructed in the future, it will be accepted as a public way. On Senator Morris, you can see the property line is here, and just inside the public way is the sheet piling. The intent is to, and then here, here along Decatur is the same idea, where we have sheet piling within the public way. The sheet piling will be cut down to be 6 feet below the sidewalk grade upon project completion. It's a pretty standard process for SOEs within the city, within public ways. Do we have any questions?
Commissioners, questions? All right, hearing none, can I see staff or members of the public?
John, you might have mentioned this, but I missed it. Did you say this is a sheet pile system?
Yes, sheet pile system because 6 feet below grade.
Great, thanks.
All right, going once. All right, straightforward. Hearing no other questions or comments, will you be ready for your public hearing in 3 weeks on July 17th?
Yes, we will. Thank you.
Excellent. We'll see you back here then. Thank you.
Thank you.
And on to our final item of new business number 2, Babson Street, Crossman Street, Delhi Street, Dorchester, specific repairs on a petition by the City of Boston Public Works Department. The proponents please introduce themselves, their affiliations, and walk us through what is being proposed.
Good morning, members of the commission. My name is Leah Housley. I'm the Capital Project Design Director for the Infrastructure and Design Team at the City of Boston Public Works Department. This intersection came before this commission previously in 2023 and was approved. We're before you today with a slightly modified plan that includes 2 additional raised crosswalks, one across Babson Street and one across Crossman Street. This change was made at the direct request of community members after we had several meetings earlier this spring, in particular with the West Eldon Neighborhood Association, who advocated for these additional safety measures. I'm joined by our design team, Radu Nan of Kittleston Associates, who can provide some additional details and answer any questions, and it looks like we might be having a hard time getting the plans up on the screen.
Can everybody see my screen or no?
I see a
black. I can see your screen, but it's black.
That's not good. Let me try this again. There. How about now? Nothing.
Same issue. We see the cursor moving, but we don't see anything behind it.
Okay. Third time's a charm. I will share the entire screen. How about that?
There we go. Now we can see it.
Okay. Good morning, and my name is Radu Nan. I'm a civil engineer with Kittleston Associates, providing support to the Public Works Department. As Lydia just mentioned, The specific repairs are along Babson Street at the intersection with Delhi Street and at Crossman Street at the intersection with Delhi Street again. The changes Lydia described are on the south side of the intersection between Babson and Crossman. Previously, the specific repairs included 2 pedestrian ramps. The current plans show a raised crosswalk providing pedestrian access across Babson. With the introduction of the raised crosswalk, the plans also include additional drainage work in the form of a drainage inlet and a new sump that connects to the separated drainage system on Babson Street. On the Crossman Street intersection, 2 pedestrian ramps are also again being replaced in the proposed specific repairs by a raised crosswalk. This new raised crosswalk is going to interrupt the flow of the street drainage, which had previously flown through a green infrastructure installation out and to an existing inlet on Crossman. So the raised intersection or the raised crosswalk itself now interrupts that flow. The changes include an under drain, a new sump, and laying out new pipe to connect to the same existing system on Crossman. So there's the changes brought before you in the specific repairs. Curb lines and other features, street lighting remain the same from the previously approved plan back in 2023. Happy to answer any additional questions or questions about proposed changes to the specific repairs.
Thank you both very much. Commissioners, questions, comments? All right, hearing none. PIC staff or members of the public?
All set on this.
Excellent. I'll just say I appreciate the team working with folks in the community so closely to update these plans to reflect local priorities. So thank you for bringing this back before the commission. And with that, will you guys be ready for a public hearing in 3 weeks on July 17th?
Yes, we will.
All right, excellent. Well, we'll see you back here then. And with that, we have reached the end of our agenda for the day. So, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned. I hope everyone has a great 4th of July and see you in 3 weeks.
Thank you.